Good.
First of all, thanks Anna for
இன்னும்
inviting me.
பாட்காஸ்ட் ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகல, இது சும்மா.
இல்ல இருந்தாலும் எனக்கு ஒரு மனசுல ஒரு ஆசை.
டேய் ரமணா,
Ada, this gives a feeling of we are on YouTube.
super strangers, complete
Yeah.
strangers. Like
But
US, London, and then Germany is about to join. One more London guy will join. Who wakes up at 4 a.m. to record a podcast at 5 a.m.? Day, nee illada naan ra.
happy.
I wake up at 4 a.m. all the time.
Stretch பண்ண அவ்வளவுதான்.
Chandar, எங்களுக்கு pressure என்னன்னா, Chandar will wake up at 4 and 5, and if we don't join, it's a big disappointment.
I know.
அதுவும் correct
We
தான்.
have no regrets. We have
We
no
had to
regrets
make
to
sure.
miss this.
In fact, we had to make sure we honor the commitment very, very diligently. No, but
So
anything,
Chandar, do you have to go to work today since it's a Monday?
I will be, but work from home. ஆரம்பிக்கலாமா அப்போ? But the podcast started like 10 minutes ago already.
அப்படியா?
Oh boy.
தெரியுது நீங்க அப்படிதான் பண்ணுவீங்கன்னு தெரியும்.
Because that's what I was
Unexpected.
like.
That
Left
is
side
called
the red light
candid
blink
moments.
ஆயிட்டே இருக்கு. I thought the recording has already started.
Yeah.
So,
Recording
the
is
thing
there.
is, with some of the singers who have actually confirmed this, essentially what happens is when they go into Sir Studio for recording, since the moment, like the minute they are in, the recording button is on. So anything and everything they do is actually captured, and those are the little nuances that gets introduced in the song. Like for example, Vasundhara Das, okay, towards the end of at the end of the track, she says okay, and that bit was like when sir or another recording engineer said, okay, good to go for recording or something. She said okay, and then that okay was captured in that song.
Captured. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
So it was.
I
like
have
that,
another
yeah.
example. I have another example of the same thing. I heard Harini ma'am say that in Sutti Sutti Vandiha as well.
Yes,
அது
exactly.
சிரிக்கிறது இல்ல?
Yeah, சிரிக்கிறது, little nuance. Like who does that? It's amazing.
So we're good to go then, is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And Karan will be joining like in 15 or 20 minutes later. But we can get going. Fantastic guys, great to see us all together. I think I've met most of you. So I think Tanveer, Vaishnavi, Harry. Why do I call you Harry? Vivek.
Vivek.
I think you're the guys I haven't met in person, but others, yeah, I've had the fortune of meeting you in person, and it's amazing. So I always feel I just keep wondering that how Sir's music has such an impact and unites us all as fans, and then keeps us together, especially with since this journey has been for the last 3.5-4 years now, and so many friends as part of this journey, just makes me wonder. Like I had never imagined that I would be connecting with the likes of Ramanan in the UK, Ashwin in the US, and Ashwin has been right from the time I had started this journey. I still remember receiving his first ever message on Facebook Messenger.
I remember.
I don't know who uses Facebook these days, but yeah, so it's just funny. But and thank you again for joining. And then this podcast has been in the planning for a while and finally happened. I think the last community podcast was almost 2 years ago. So I'm hoping that this community podcast creates a very cool memory for you all, and then makes you go back and watch it or hear it on Spotify, or watch it on Spotify too, because these days you have video podcasts on Spotify. And then so a few years down the line, if you go back and watch it, I hope it brings a smile. So that's the intent.
We should thank you, and it's been a privilege actually to actually get together like this and talk
Definitely.
one common passion or inspiration that we have had, I've had personally, and like most of us. And Mr. A.R.Rahman,
Mm.
what do we spell more than that? The man,
Yeah.
yeah, the
The
man
man,
himself.
the man, the myth, the legend.
Exactly, exactly.
இசை கடவுள்.
Nice.
Yeah,
I would say
absolutely.
my இசை கடவுள்.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, on that note, maybe should we start off with some introductions? Maybe each one of you can go one after the other, and then, um, what do you do, where you're from, and then, anything you want to talk about, and then we'll go one after the other with the introductions. So, since Ramanan, you chimed in, you might want to go first.
We'll do ladies first for a change.
Okay.
No, I think it's 2023, end of 2023, Ram. So I think we should forget ladies and whoever first. It's all
I'm
equal.
all.
So
I
you
prefer
bell
to
the
be old
cat.
school.
Great. Who wants to go first then? Just go. Okay,
I
Vaishnavi,
can go.
I'll pick you. Oh, somebody said you wants to go. Who wants to go? Tanveer.
Just Tanveer Chandar.
Okay. Tanveer, go for it. And Vaishnavi, you want to go next?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much, Chandar,
Thank you.
for initiating this, right? I'm extremely blessed every day for this one.
Wow.
So me, myself, I came to US 98. I've been in the San Francisco Bay Area for the last 25 years now, working in the Silicon Valley, slogging day in, day out. But the only thing which keeps me relaxed and cool is Sir's music, right? As I said, during my college days, Roja released, and exactly in Mount Road is where I started listening to Roja's first sound beat, right? Since then I took the tape, I brought it back to the hostel, everybody played. There's no turning back from that point. Every hostel room was playing Roja during that period. So married, 2 kids. My daughter is in college. My son is a high school senior. And I know I've been commenting on I love ARR stuff for some period, and then Chandar comes and says, Tanveer, why don't you join the community? This is all right, like total stranger sitting in some corner of the world. And then I said, Chandar, I'll come, and then and I think I will finish with this one. In any WhatsApp group, you will have conflicts, but the one which I'm really proud is the way Sir is where how the community is. Each other respects each other so well. We understand so much, and that's kudos to Chandar, who has brought us together here. So yeah,
And
that's
I think
my
it's
intro,
Sir's
folks.
music which brought us all together, not me. Amazing. Vaishnavi, you want to go next? And then anyone else who wants to go next, just go. I don't want to pick names. So Vaishnavi, go for it.
Yeah, hello everyone. Yes, thank you, Chandar,
I
for
like your t-shirt, by the way.
thank you. I got it done in the last minute. I know. Unfortunately, I fell sick the last week and I wasn't sure if I could get this made. But then I'm like, no, this is my first ever podcast and I'm meeting you all for the first time. So I wanted to do some show off. But anyway, my name is Vaishnavi. I am from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, United States. But I moved here very recently, like 8 years ago. And I was raised in Bangalore and
Oh, wow. I didn't know you were from Bangalore.
I'm from Bangalore. I'm from
Kannada
Bangalore.
ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ?
Gottu.
Okay.
Kannada gottu. The only language that I speak apart from Tamil is Kannada.
Good.
But I've lost touch for some time, so it's very bad. But yeah, I'm a 91 born girl, so probably why I'm so inclined to Sir's music, I don't know. It's very interesting because the first few years, subconsciously I was inclined to his music, but I didn't know it was him composing these songs because I was too young, I was too small. But I know the first few songs I have different memories attached to the songs or albums or the movies. I've never watched any of those movies, but I only know the songs. Probably because why? Because I was too young. Um, what else? I am married and I have a 2-year-old, and I haven't introduced his music yet to him, but shortly, probably in a couple of years. I like classical music, and I listen to all kinds of music like other composers as well, because I'm from a musical family, so I'm interested in different kinds of music, different kinds of genres, but the only music that I get back to is Sir's music at the end of the day. And obviously, since this is the community that I get back to, because I can discuss anything and everybody can resonate with me. When I go to my family and I talk, they're like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. This is their typical response, and I'm like, okay, fine. Probably it's not a big deal for you guys, but it is huge for me. That's how I speak to them. So it feels very nice to be a part of this community, and thank you for adding me. I'm a very newbie here. Probably I've been here only for a year or less than a year. I don't remember exactly. But yeah, that's about me.
Amazing.
Thank you so
You
much.
sing as well?
Sorry?
You sing as well, coming from a
I
music.
do sing. Yes, I do sing. I've been learning both Carnatic and Hindustani.
Oh yeah.
And I do sing film songs also. Yeah, I mean, just as a
What's
passion
your
and
favorite
hobby.
raga?
That's Ragam. That's a tough question.
Okay, what
I
raga do you
like
feel like now being in this podcast?
what raga I feel like singing.
No, what raga just comes to your mind right now?
Like Amritavarshini, because it's kind of raining here and it's
Meaning
giving
here
me
too.
that mood. Yeah. So, but
Okay.
yeah, I like ragams, and that's why I enjoy more of Sir's ragam based
Do you know
music songs.
where this is going? So do you want to sing something in Amritavarshini then?
Mm, it would be very embarrassing if I say I don't know a song in
Okay,
Amritavarshini.
any Carnatic song. It doesn't even have to be Sir's music. Pick any
Oh, okay.
Carnatic any to start off the podcast.
Oh, okay. I
Anyone
wasn't
else?
prepared for this. Could have given me a heads up.
Take your
But
time.
yeah, I can. All right.
She's like, why did I even join this podcast?
Yeah.
No.
No,
I would
she's
love
correcting
to
the
sing.
scale. She's putting
Correct.
thumbs
I'm
and
I
just
think she was just
yeah.
typing
I
a
can't
message.
sing with.
Hey, Chanda, stop this.
I'm just
who
trying to
said
put.
Beda.
Yen madam, yen.
I'll
Nama
sing just
college
2
hostel
lines.
ragging
Friend
money.
line, yeah. Okay.
Rendu line porma. Okay.
Mood
Since
line,
it's the beginning, I want to start with something with Ganesha.
good idea.
That's what good start.
Yeah.
वातापि गणपतिं भजे हम 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 वारण संवरप्रदं श्रीवरण संवरप्रदं श्रीवरण संवरप्रदं श्रीवातापि गणपतिं भजे ए
Amazing.
Sorry.
No,
That's
very
Thank you so
Lovely.
much.
well done.
Yeah.
Just sorry
Amazing,
to cut you on
amazing.
this.
Yeah.
It's very
hearty
My
beautiful.
voice is very bad today, unfortunately, because I just came out of a viral fever
Yeah.
and I'm still having some cold.
All good, but it
But
was
thanks
If
for
this
letting me sing.
Amazing.
If
Fantastic.
this is how you sound bad, then I'm curious as to how you sound
Then
when
if
you
she
sing
sings
Sir's
like that,
music.
out of
Uh,
the world,
but
definitely. If she sings
at some
in a
point in the podcast, I'll prepare myself and sing some Sir's music
Okay.
while you guys
perfect,
speak.
perfect,
Yeah,
perfect, perfect,
Okay.
I'll let someone
perfect,
else
perfect.
talk.
Okay. Who wants to go next? You guys are not picking up, putting your hands up. Okay, Rashmi, you go.
Sure, why not? So, hi everyone, I'm Rashmi, and I'm originally from Bangalore, but I have lived in Malaysia for a while. I've lived
Oh
in
yeah.
Germany now for, yeah, and now in Germany for about 5 years now. It's our 6th year into living in Germany.
Nice.
So, I have been a fan of Sir's music since I was about 9 years old, 9 or 10 years old. And I think I don't want to bore everyone with the same story that I have, I think, typed out after I attended Sir's concert here in Dortmund, Germany recently. It was like a mini anecdote of my experience there. So my story goes back to when I was about 9 years old. And we used to live in a little rental home. And right below our home, there was another older uncle who used to live, who had all the fancy gadgets because he was living alone and he used to work with the customs office. So somehow he would have access to, the latest technology or latest music systems. And he had a CD changer which could repeat songs on a loop, which was unheard of in 1991, at least for us, where even having a dual cassette player was a big deal. I don't know, maybe Chandar can, I know you're in the same age group, so I think you can relate. When we were in 4th or 5th standard, that was unheard of. So this uncle, he played Chinna Chinna Asai, I remember, for about 27 times on loop. And we lived right above his home. And the song kept playing till it kind of got imprinted, in my head. Even now, uh, even if I'm doing something, I know which note goes where, how the song changes, how the tune changes, what instrument comes. And so we were quite friendly with him. So we went up to him and asked him about the song. So he immediately pulled out the CD jacket and showed us who A.R.Rahman was and said, listen, this is a 21-year-old guy who is a new music director, and told us about him and introduced him to us to his music. So that was how I was inducted into his Sir's world. And from then on, like Vaishnavi just mentioned, it's all a part of our being, I feel. And I think through the years, at least personally for me, it becomes a part of you. You don't actually look at it from an admirer or a fan's perspective. It just becomes a part of you. And that's what happened with me. You just grow with the music. It becomes a part of you. Then, of course, I got married, I was working and I got married and I had a baby. And then my daughter, when she was born, she had some illness, and thereafter, after about a year later, she lost her hearing. So for almost a year, I did not listen to any music because as essentially music was a part of me, it was difficult to imagine a life without access to what I thought was a gift. So sorry, it's a little emotional for me to talk about
It's okay.
this, but
It's okay.
she then got access to sound with cochlear implants. So she now wears cochlear implants, which are basically like robotic ears. It kind of is a device which converts sound into waves and it directly sends it to the brain. So she has access to sound now. She got these magnets into her ears, into her cochlear, like an artificial cochlear. So yes, after about a year after her diagnosis, she got access to sound and she was able to hear us and listen to music. And she was the reason why I got back to appreciating Sir's music more, because very funnily, there was this one day we were watching something on YouTube together, and she happened to click on Berkeley Indian Ensemble's video where they were playing a tribute to A.R.Rahman Sir, and that was a Dil Se song. So after that, she was hooked on. And it was a complete wonder because I went back and asked all her audiologists and people who worked with her, and I even showed them the video and I said, my daughter just loves this. And they said, see, first thing is the music. And the second thing is, the way it's played, like a symphony, the orchestral act of it. So from then on, it became a part of our daily routine, to listen to Dilse's song as soon as we started the day, because she would spend the whole day with me. And it's just magical. She just loves each of Sir's song, even though she's now 6, but this was about 3-4 years back when she was still much younger. She would just turn and start responding to or reacting to his songs whenever she heard it playing. And so it was for me a way of bridging back to my love for music when there was a void of it for almost a good year. I couldn't bring myself to enjoy it. Maybe I would still listen to it. Of course, you're watching TV or you're doing things, but I wouldn't let myself enjoy it. But this kind of was, catapulted me back into appreciating and valuing it for what it is. So she is like his biggest fan and kind of brought me back into this journey and helping me, what do you say, undervalue or underscore the importance of Sir's music in my life, I would say. So yeah, and thanks to Chandar. So it started that way. I liked the Berkeley Ensemble's Instagram or something, and then it connected me to Chandar's page. And then I connected with Chandar. And recently, when I wanted to go for the concert, I connected with him and asked him if he was coming over. And of course, I've been part of the community as well. So it's so nice to wake up every day and somebody or the other has sent a message on the group saying, hey, I'm listening to this song, or this song is great. And I don't have to think. I just go and click on that link on Spotify and it immediately, sets the tone of the day. So
actually, just
I
on
love that.
note, right? When you see someone posting a song, a link that it's usually Vivek and me spamming the group with those links. I was going to say, when you see a link and you see the name of the song, even before you play it, like even if you want to play, that's a different thing. Does that song run in your head?
Yeah,
Runs for
absolutely.
me.
If I know of it,
Like
of
for
course.
example, when
Yes.
Vivek posted May Madam or something like that a couple of days ago, just by looking at it, the song was playing in my head. I don't know if it's just me or you guys experience it too. You can be honest.
Same here.
Just tell me whether it does or
100,
not.
No, no, it
100%,
does.
right? Like I get,
Same.
I
Normal.
get the
100%.
interludes.
So it's
I
normal
get the
then.
interludes
Okay.
as well. Normal.
It's normal. It's normal because we already used to with those sounds, right?
Okay.
We lived in it, so definitely that sounds will resonate each and
Okay.
every day. Some people will say that this guy has some what what we will say, like yeah, meaning I'm searching for the word, but still the sound is not actually playing, but it is happening on the head. We feel like that. Yeah,
Nice.
it's there.
Great. Rashmi, sorry I hijacked.
So,
Oh, no, not at all.
sorry.
So yeah, I love that about our group, Chandar. I think all thanks to you. I keep, remembering to say thank you to you because it's important to do that. It's very nice to be bound to a group of people who appreciate what you personally do as well. So when it comes to Sir's music or when you're looking at, the nuances of his art, it's very nice to be related with like-minded people. So thank you for that. And I love, like I said, any time of the day when I'm busy or a little stressed out, I just go back to the group and just click on whatever the latest song shared by the person, and I
Oh, so you actually click the link.
yeah,
Nice. That's good to
mostly.
hear.
If I don't have access to Apple Music,
No.
so it's mostly Spotify. So I just immediately click on whatever link is the latest one. That's my go-to.
Nice.
A lot of times it's a new song, or I mean, of course, it's an older song, but something that is new to me. So it's nice. It just changes the mood of my day sometimes. So it's wonderful. So that's my sort of introduction. A very personal thing that I don't think I have shared with many people, but
Thanks for sharing.
it's
Very touching.
yeah, it's a little personal tangent to why I love Sir's music or how I came full circle to loving his music back. I have a younger sister and she's a huge fan as well. So yeah, I'll stop there. Let someone else
Very
speak.
nice. Amazing.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next? You guys pick. Just put your hand up and just go.
Okay, I'll go to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
pa.
Firstly,
God.
thank you, Chanda, for actually starting off this initiative and bringing us all together. Like Rashmi echoed, um, the group only uses positivity. When you come in and when you see people discussing songs, there are links of songs that you probably have not heard for a long time, and then there are songs that you probably have not seen it because it's part of some OST in the Hollywood or something like that, and possibly I've not actually listened to it at any point of time in my life. Okay, going back, I'm Ramanan, and I'm originally from Bangalore, and I've been in London for the last 18 years.
Wow.
I am IT freelancer by profession, and my first touch of grace with Sir's music came when I was in Standard 8, 1991, when Roja's, 1991 or 1992, 91, right? 91.
Yeah,
Um,
January 1.
yeah, I think when Roja released, and I heard this Kadal Rojave, that sounded very distinct. And then I was like, I've heard this song somewhere, and this sounds so much like this Verily ad. Okay, the Garden Verily ad. And that song caught on, and then Chinna Chinna Yasai and other things. Back in those days when Doordarshan used to have this um, one Thursday or Tuesday program where one Tamil
Volume,
song
volume.
used to be played, volume or something.
Volume,
So
volume.
we
Yeah,
used to see
Chitramala.
yes, that's the one. And we used to either see Kadal Rojave or Chinna Chinna Asai and stuff. And then a few months down the line, my dad got me the cassette, and I was totally hooked onto it. In Standard 9, one day we're sitting in the class, and me and this guy called Madhu, I clearly remember, he's like, dude, I have a Walkman. You listen to this music.
Mhm.
Okay. It's a new album that's come out by this guy called A.R.Rahman. Why don't you actually, listen to it? So I put it on. The first song I heard was the Veerapandi Kotaile.
Hmm.
I I don't know. I was listening, and suddenly I yelled in the class, and we got kicked out. and then that weekend, I spoke to my parents. I asked them, I need this cassette. I got the cassette, and it became a norm where my parents used to actually get me a cassette every time Sir's new album released. And one more thing I noticed about Sir's music was he used to mention each and every contributor to the album in the cassette. And that was something that I found very unique, because I used to have some old cassettes of some other music directors, but I never found anything apart from the music director's name or the singer's name. So this was something that touched me. And
Just on that point, right? Those are the things that made us all aware about the existence of so many people behind the scenes,
exactly.
or even a single track or a single sound. And that has helped me, do that research and make a long list of people who I had to invite on the podcast too. I'm just saying, like, without that list, we wouldn't have,
Absolutely.
right? Yeah.
I mean, uh, we wouldn't have known about Mr. Naveen,
Yeah.
that iconic
Yeah,
Bombay
yeah,
theme that makes me cry
yeah.
even every time I hear. I mean,
Yeah.
it's such an emotional thing. So yeah, I mean, going by, I think over a period of time, Sir's influence of music just grew in me, and I think I attribute current sense of music and current ear to music only due to Sir, because Sir's music paved the way for appreciating every genre, every good music that's made in this world. So I listen from anything from Carnatic to heavy metal. I always go back to Sir and Raja Sir for my day-to-day comfort, just my going back to home kind of a song. And I mean, apart from him, I mean, it's said that the personality of the attitude, the goodness in Sir, and the positivity that he rubs off has had a very big influence in my life. I must admit. and I admire him more of a great human being than the composer he is. So when everybody talks about Sir's music touching so many aspects of personal life, I can really get it.
Mm.
So yeah, that's about me with
Beautiful. Yeah,
A.R.Rahman.
love it, nice. And
Amazing.
Ashwin or Vivek, you guys, who wants to go first? Just go.
Yeah, sure, I'll go.
Okay.
Hi, hi everybody. My name's Ashwin. I live in Atlanta in the US. I've been here since '98, so I was about 9 or 10 since I've been here. So I remember, I think for me, the first association, for Sir's music was back in, like 92, right? 91, 92, Roja had released, and, I was too young at the time. I was only 4 years old, so I didn't know what the hell was going on. But I think the song that really made me realize, oh, this is something here, was Ooh La La La. In the end, you have the harmonica piece, and then the drums go pretty crazy. I think that song just blew me away, because you have the song starts, then it gets a little more upbeat and peppy, and then just that whole the harmonica piece, and then dun 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 dun, all that stuff. It just totally blew me away, and I didn't know that you could do that, to have a sound like that. That just blew me away. I don't know if it blew me away just because I was a child, or genuinely just that unique process of thinking, how to add so much variety into a song. And then, I think by that point I was maybe 7 or 8, and I started listening to more songs of Sir's, a little bit more on the classical side, Narubuge, very, very classically based, and then more of the contemporary stuff. When I heard Chandralekha, like that sound, like even to this day, to make something like that in the 90s, like that sound, even now it sounds like it's from the future, you know? So, and just everything about that song, the bass, just the rhythm, the drums, even Mukabala in the ending, the whole piece there, it was just so it's just so unique, and I think that's the biggest thing that totally blew me away. So since then, my brother, my older brother and I, we were, and we still are very huge fans, and we still have so many of the old school cassette tapes. We have like drawers full of, Padepa and, Takshak and, Lagan and all this. We still have it. I mean, we don't play it anymore because now everything is all on Spotify and iTunes and stuff, but it's just nice memories to keep. So, we still go back and hear those from time to time. But one thing that I do, which of course Chandra knows, so I play keyboard, and I've been playing for almost I don't know, maybe 20 something years or now. I don't know,
Wow.
something like that. So I used to back then when I was much younger, I had the Walkman, and I'd put in the headphones, and I would try to learn how to play, like Roja or Jule Madam on the guitar. I'd change the keyboard tone and all, like stuff like that. So I think with Sir's music, I developed an ear for certain sounds, um, because of just how he composes music, and sometimes I would think, I remember even I think a little while later, when when I was in my teens or early 20s, sometimes I would hear a song that I didn't know was Sir's, and I was like, oh man, this sounds like pretty cool. I wonder if maybe if it's AR, because it's got that next level sort of sound. And then I went back and listened. I was like, oh, I found out, oh, it's actually his song. And I was like, that's so cool. So it just adds an extra level of comfort, I guess, to you, because you feel, hey, this is his. And I'm sure, as we all feel, right, we feel a sense of pride, and just like being proud. um and I think someone else also mentioned, aside, obviously, as a musician, we know he's number one, right? There's no question. But as an individual, right? He's always about peace, just being simple, just being a nice person, right? Not being too excited or too dull, just sort of kind of neutral, So that I think has rubbed off a lot on me, whether it's whether if I'm in a difficult situation, maybe at work or just with a friend or anything like that, you try to not overthink, oh, maybe this person is doing it like this, or maybe they meant to say it like this. You just try to be cool and just try to look at it from the positive side, and don't over analyze things. Just try to be as cool as you can, and at the end of the day, right, just be a nice person. I think that's what it boils down to, right? And as he said during his Oscar speech, right, I all my life I had to choose between love and hate, right? I chose love, I'm here, right? That's all that matters. If you can do that, then I think you won in pretty much any outcome. And not that it's a question of winning or losing. I feel it's all about learning, right? If you're doing something right, if you're winning, then just keep doing that. If you're not, then see what you can change, and if you can do it nicely, that's all that matters. So yeah, I try to be a bit more spiritual that way. I know sometimes I think in the WhatsApp chat, this is maybe a year or two ago, I had like a spiritual post or something that I shared. So yeah, I just I like to be spiritual sometimes. I have a big group of friends, like a big friend group here, and sometimes we do music together. We play AR's music, and it's always fun. And as we all know, we have to thank Chandra for bringing us all together. I had the lovely opportunity to meet Chandra earlier this year in April. I flew down for my cousin's. My cousin had something in Australia, so
You
I
can
met
always say
Chandra
you
there.
flew down to meet me.
Yeah, exactly. The main thing was to meet Chandra, and the cousin thing, the family stuff was on the side. Yeah, so I met Chandra, and we had a lovely time just connecting, and it was just nice to meet him because I think we have been in contact since the beginning, from 2020, right around when COVID started.
Mhm.
And we've just been in touch, and we have this great group of people, just like-minded individuals who just love Sir's music, and just want to enjoy that, and just have fun. So yeah.
Amazing. Nice one.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Right, lucky last.
Vivek.
Vivek.
Hi. So thank you, first of all, thank you, Chandrana, for inviting me to this podcast, because many my favorites had been into this podcast, but I'm also one of one among them at the moment. So thank you, Chandrana, for keeping all AR fans together and creating a group, and having an amazing conversation like this. So I'm telling about myself. So my name is Vivek. I am from Marthandam, Kanyakumari district. So I'm from the down south. I'm a typical Tamil guy, but I speak Malayalam as well because my father and mother, they are from Trivandrum. So that's how I can speak Malayalam as well. But at the moment, I am settled in Bangalore. So well, because my wife's house, wife is from Bangalore. So I'm settled over there. And so last year, November 2022, I came here as a nurse. I work as a nurse. So and at the moment, I'm working in Birmingham as a dialysis nurse. So that's all about my professional and those things. When it comes to SaaS music, it's a big story. So I was born in 1988. So SARS entry, everyone knows it's 1992, 1991, 1992, what were told previously told by Rahman bro. At the age of 4, 1992, that time, my uncle, he played Roja. He bought Roja cassette. And luckily, I don't know, in SAR's case and my case, I don't know what bond I have with him. Even if I didn't meet him last concert, I met him. But yeah, come to the point. I have and we used to have a Sony deck. Okay, at that time, my uncle played Sony deck, and which is a hi-fi system. Those days it was very hi-fi, but I don't know much. I don't have much knowledge about that. But my uncle played one song. It sounds like tang 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 tang. So from that time itself, I started to listen. What? Because that's the music I I got that spark, creative spark. That music stimulated my creative muscles. So at the age of 4, I was thinking how a glass break sound can be magical like this. I like, hey, this is very good. And other music I don't like. I don't know, because the quality what Romans are made. Because at that time I listened to that this song, that Rukumani Rukumani, in that so I did that time, because then my mom used to say what he is doing. Many people are saying like that, but because he influenced me. Then after that Yodha came, that Padagali Chandi Chandi, that usually I like beat very much, like so like that. Then the same thing, then Trida Trida Tagita Tankita Kitakachinda Takita Tankita. So that made me to become a self-taught musician, because uh, that that Konakol part inspired me a lot into the rhythm. I don't know, from I haven't been to any classes or anything, but his music, that Konakol part influenced me a lot. And I will figure out myself. I do whatever I want. That time itself, but that time in the sense, yeah, being I was in a countryside in Marthandam, so we don't have much accessibilities or competitions over there in school days. But I was creating myself, but I I didn't realize on those days. Then later I moved to dance because of the rhythm sense. I just danced. My first dance was happened on 1995, Hamma Hamma, in school. Those days are really amazing. That 90s I was with AR. Then after 19, because why I am listening, because why I am listening those albums, because my uncle is a friend, his name called Sumesh. So he is also a diehard fan of AR Rahman. That time itself, we used to have a good rapport. We used to discuss about how is the song like this. Think about how he create that kind of sounds. We can't. So we used to talk like that. We were most futuristic those days. I don't know why, but then we went to a theater to see Mudalvan. So that's the first movie I watched in the DTS setup. So before that, I watched other movies in the theater, but I couldn't get that kind of impact. But Mudalvan was the first DTS movie I could listen. I could listen that kind of surrounding sound that time. So we were discussing about those things. So, and it was very nice days. And then after 12th standard, my father, he used to work in government services. He wants me to study and know music. I told so Dad, I want to be a musician. So no, he directly said no. Just go for study. Just do something like that, musician. Because in my place, there are many musicians are there, but they are not succeeded in their life. So he showed in that way. Then I accepted his will. Then I did nursing from 2006 to 2010. That was the bad time, because bad time in the sense I couldn't find any AR fans over there. That's the worst. That's the worst part, because the place where I went there, I could access to the music, but I couldn't discuss. No one is there to discuss, because the people I met, those people are very they like another kind of genre, not into romances. They like all Malayali people. So they like Ravindran Marsh, that oldie type. But the new age, they are not accepting. So one guy from Palakkad, he used to argue with me. A.R.Rahman is nothing. Now he is not good. Then I also stand. He's the one day he's going to get Oscar for us. I told on 2007. Then in 2009 it happened. Then I told Mavane, அடிச்சுட்டான்டா தலைவன். That's it. முடிஞ்சிருச்சு அவ்வளவுதான். I did that. That moment was, but I was a bit out of music, because I wasn't able to listen those things. I wasn't analyzing the tracks. Then after 2011, after my graduation, I started to work as a nurse. So I was struggling. It was my initial days of my career. I was struggling a lot, and it was very hard time. uh, I was out of music, so I wasn't hearing, I wasn't much able to listen, in the mood to listen Sar's song or any song. Then one day I have made a bad decision, which not anyone has to take, because that was a very bad decision. It was, I want to end up my life, because the pressure was happening like that, because I left music, I left my passion, I did everything for my parents, but things are not happening good for me. It's a early 20s guys, whatever the struggles, guys will face. Well, I have decided to enter my life. So after finishing my shift, I just decided I don't want to leave. Then before going out of this world, just listen one track. That track changed me. That is Arzian, that Mola song. That song changed me a lot, because that song made me, took me to my olden days. Why I thought like this, what I left, what I lost. I was realizing myself. That song is a Kavali song. Before that, the Khwaja Meri Khwaja song are there, but the Arzian song touched me, because I couldn't control my tears. And then it was on the loop around 3 to 4 hours, and then I just left out of from that scene. And then I was thinking that I want to learn music, but my age passed away, because at that time my age was 23, 24. So beyond that, I'm an elder son in the family, so I have to take lots of responsibility, so I can't go any full-time classes or anything. But still, I started to listen Rahman sir's music each and every moment. I'm learning myself music, and so because of that, I am a self-taught musician. I mean, I'm a self-taught rhythm artist. I do konako, I play djembe, percussion, and now I am learning music production on the side. After 5 years, hopefully I will reach my dream. Yeah, that's the point. Because so
And what's
luckily
your
I
dream?
got a chance. At the moment, I'm working as a nurse, and
No,
it's a good job. To be frank,
you said you want to achieve your dream. What's your dream?
I want to work for SAR. I want to work as an assistant for A.R.Rahman. That's it. அவ்வளவுதான். அது முடிஞ்சிருச்சுன்னா அந்த மொமெண்ட்ல விட்டாலும் ஐ எம் ஹாப்பி, பிகாஸ் in this last concert, London concert, I got a chance to meet A.R.Rahman sir, and I just I just said one poem to him. I have taken from my life. I like this. uh, நான் ஏன் பிறந்தேன் என்று என்னை உணர வைத்த என் இசை கடவுள் நீங்கள். அரசியான் என்ற பாடல் என் வாழ்க்கையில் இருந்து இருளை அகற்றியது. நான் ஏன் பிறந்தேன் என்ற பாடல் நான் ஏன் பிறந்தேன் என்று என்னை உணர வைத்தது. அதனால் நீங்கள் அதன் இசை கடவுள். And he tapped on my shoulder, and that's it. That's it. And then I just lived again. I started, this is the time, man. And then I just decided, 10 years back, 2013, that the moment when that changeover happened on 2013. But now on 2023, I met A.R.Rahman sir. So I believe that one day definitely I'm gonna meet him. And I have one more crazy dream. Actually, I have a story for A.R.Rahman sir. Actually, it's a movie story. I don't want to say that.
We'll,
It's the craziest dream.
we'll
Yeah.
come to that. We'll come to that in a bit.
Sorry. I just got out of the world.
This is probably the longest introduction ever. No, that's okay. But great to hear, man. Amazing. But we'll get into much more into the details of various other aspects that we will have to talk about for sure.
Sorry.
Thanks,
Sorry for
Vivi.
the long.
No, that's okay. Great. So we have Karan in the house. He's the lucky last. So Karan, we'll do a bit of introduction. So
really sorry.
no, that's okay. So if you can talk about yourself, as in where you're from, what do you do, and then a little bit about ARR sir's music background, and then we'll get into the lot more detailing later.
Yeah, probably I would say an odd one out here. I don't come from the background of the language that Sir has been, started his career in. I'm probably one of the weirdest in my family when I talk to anyone, because I come from a Gujarati Hindi upbringing, and Tamil was never a language for us. And I think first time I heard Sir's music was Bombay, and then when I went back, then I heard Roja, and that's how I got hooked to Sir's music. And I dropped an email to Chandra also after the concert, and to me it was, there was a beautiful locality in Bombay, Matunga, where there was a one particular store called National Stores, and they were the only ones in Bombay who used to stock even the low key movies that Sir had done way back then. And it was a ritual for me to go every month and just check what a new release, because it was very difficult to follow track of what was releasing in South for Sir's music. And that's how, I didn't understand the language. I used to play Sir's music on my music system, on my personal headphones. I'm just almost shutting off the lyrics and just hearing the tracks. And I think that's what has been the biggest journey for me to get into his track. And when Rangila released, that was like, I was just waiting for a song which was written in Hindi, because normally his translations of all the Tamil movies were very subpar. I mean, not all of them were really great in lyrics, but I think with Rangila, Tal, and then obviously it just went on. I mean, he's been one of the biggest inspiration in my life as well. And I come from a creative background, so I'm not a musician. I don't understand any instruments myself, but I think I take a lot of inspiration from Sir's work on the creative process. And I've read so much about his working style, the way he kind of jams with different people at odd times. Maybe I think that's been just the inspiration, just to see him go even at this 30 years in the career, still going strong, is always been, because creatively you can dry out, you can get, lose out on ideas at a certain point. But that to me has been one of the biggest inspirations for me. And I mean, he's the only one person that I follow. There are obviously a lot of other industry people that I look at, even cricketers, etc. But with ARR Sir, I think this starts and ends with him in that sense, from a day point of view. That's about me. And I've attended most of his concerts that have happened in India as well. So I've tried to ensure that I visit his concert happening in different countries, different cities. And yeah, I've been on that journey to kind of create that experience of being wherever Sir travels, and at least attend one concert in different city that he does, that I have not done. So yeah, that's pretty much me.
Well done. Beautiful. Great. And since you mentioned about concerts, I think that's a good segue to get into. I think most of us here have been to a concert at least, and of course now a number of them would have done a lot more, no doubt about it. So would you want to just talk about your experience and like in a concert, what expectations do you go in with, and then what do you come out of, and then what do you really experience, and then what's this describe the magic that you experience in an ARR concert, things like that. So I'm just giving you some pointers, but you can describe how you felt like, or when you attend a concert, or the concert that you attended recently, or things like that. I know some of you have attended his concert recently in the Europe tour, and then some of us the North America tour. So maybe each of you can describe about your concert experience, and also just talk more in terms of the, not just just say concert was good, just don't stop there, but actually describe what you really felt like, and then what was it like to see him perform live and things like that. So Vaishnavi, you've attended his concert, right? Americala, or you haven't?
Very sad to say, I've not even attended a single concert.
Is it? Oh, yeah. I mean, that I
Yeah,
had a bit of a doubt.
it's
That's
very
why.
unfortunate. I actually booked his concert on at I think in 2020. There was a North American tour scheduled,
Yeah.
and I booked in DC because there's nothing in Pittsburgh, so I had to drive like 3 hours. But I booked the best seats, but it got cancelled because of COVID. So I couldn't go. And
Happened last
last year he came, but then I had like a newborn and I couldn't travel.
time.
So, but hoping to go to one of his concerts in the future. If he comes next time, I will definitely go. But yeah, I don't have anything to share. But I've watched all the videos. I especially thanks to you all sharing videos in the group because I look forward for that, and I'm sure it was magical for the people who attended his concerts.
Yeah, amazing. So on that note, maybe the folks who have attended concerts can talk about their experience. Tanvir, you
Yeah.
want to go
Yeah.
first?
Yes, sir. So, just
He used
opposite to
to
Vaishnavi.
spam me big time when he was going to attend the Oakland
Yep.
concert, is it? Yeah, last.
Oakland. Yeah, I'm a Oakland
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Oakland. I still till date regret, like Chandar. I almost prepped my home ready to put him in the home. And then Chandar says, Tanvir, I'm not coming to Oakland. I'm going to New York and then fly back to Australia. Right. So that is one of my recent experience. But very fortunate that I attended all the Bay Area concerts of Sir from 2000.
Hmm.
So I've seen how the concerts evolved over a period of time. And also he brought in different sets of singers over a period of time. 2000, Shankar Mahadevan, with due respect, SPB, each one like Hariharan Ji, Srinivas giving a chorus for Alai Paide is pure a dream for me, right? Like Snehidane is one of my favorite, and Srinivas sir has sung the prelude to that song as well, and he was present during the 2000 concert. And Chandra, I shared this with you. This was the first Bay Area US concert, happened in Cow Palace in San Francisco, and the cop stopped us and asked, "Who's this guy?" Because there's a traffic jam and they couldn't control the traffic. Even the parking lot was overflowing, and it was 9 o'clock when Sir started this concert. Supposed to start at 7:30, 9 o'clock, and he ended up at 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. And the kids were dressed up in white to sing Vande Mataram. These kids were awake to sing at 1 a.m. And it's goosebumps all over the place being a true Rahman fan. And I said, this is what it is. This is what the experience is, right? The only time he came out of his keyboard was to sing Elelo for Chinna Chinna Asai. That's all. That's his introduction. Like Javed Jaffrey was the master of ceremonies, and he kept telling Rahman, so many people standing for you, come out, come out, come out. He said his music speaks, right? So he was just standing on the keyboard for 3.5 hours to 4 hours, non-stop this was. So I couldn't sleep for the next few months, Chandar, after that concert. And then the other biggest one I would say is 2015, my dad passed away. And I had booked the concert for Sir a month after. So all these things happened, and then I still went to the concert after finishing everything in India, and I came back and I met him backstage. That I couldn't forget as well. So in that, he sang "My Mind Is a Stranger Without You" from 100-Foot Journey.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
song is not even in the movie, but he chose to sing in this intimate concert, and that's one of my all-time favorite. The way Sir has composed, and on the backstage, I told him literally that thanks for singing this song, and he told me, "Oh, you like that one?" Because he was amazed because he chose it because he wanted to show that song, but he acknowledged the fact that this guy, understood that song and he appreciates that. And then we took a photograph, and he said that we would have blinked, and then he told the photographer to take the photo again.
Wow.
So that showed me he has got a big passion for his lenses and his photography sense as well. But the energy he came after the concert to the backstage to meet all these fans was like I still remember his first words. All right, ready? Let's go. Right? I mean, for me, it's like 4 hours. This guy has already sung, and he was belting out songs from Hindi to Tamil to, he himself, he started with Arziya, going back to brother Vivek, right? So Arziya comes, he sang 2 concerts, right? Thursday, Friday, back to back. Both were sold out. And I was in row 2, and Arzian comes, and I could see the entire stadium, like a lot of tears, literally, right? It all came from heart, and I think one of the challenge which I think Sir has continuously faced, Chandar, is in which language he's going to sing. More Hindi, more Tamil, right? And music has got no language to it. Me, I love both Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, whatever he sings, doesn't matter to me. But always these people come with this preset mindset of, hey, this should be in Tamil, this should be in Hindi, this should be in. So to solve all these problems, SPB sir used to sing, the Pallavi in Tamil, and then Charanam to Hindi, and then he will shift back. So all those combinations were consistently happening. But I think what amazes me, Chandar, in this concert experience, sir as a singer, he was so shy in 2000 to the recent concert which happened last year in US. Chandar, you went to New York one. Is interaction with the audience. It shifted 360, and which is like, sometimes I feel he's coming out of his comfort zone, and you could see how hard he works. The last Oakland concert, 18,000 people inside the stadium, and then I think majority of the songs Sir sang it, and I could see his throat gave up O Saya, and then he shifted back to Mangta Hai Kya from Rangila, and I could see, like, I wanted him to stop and drink some water, but I could see his feel that people have paid money for this concert, and this is like one-time stuff for Bay. I mean, like, everybody's busy in life, they're stopping their stuff and coming to this concert. So that respect which he has for everyone who's sitting inside is my true experience, which I take out. And we talked about him as a person that reflects every second. And even I saw in one of the Oakland concert, he came out and then he was going in a limo. He took majority of the singers along with him in the limo. Just, it's pure magic. It's not his name, fame, money, and all this stuff. He is as he is, right? I think even today, he's the same. So I think I really cherish and very blessed to have witnessed all these concerts in US, and even I'm still waiting for the next one. I plan my trips according to it. Even the India trip, I try to postpone a little bit, thinking Sir may visit US, so I should be there for his concert. So that's my experience, folks.
Nice. And since you mentioned plan your trips, just yesterday I was talking to, not yesterday, day before yesterday, because I was at my work Christmas party, and then one of the team members was talking to me about Sir's concert, and then I told him in 2010 was when he came to Sydney here in Parramatta to perform. And of course I live in Melbourne, and then so that point in time I was in India for a vacation, and then I still remember bringing my return date forward just so that I can go watch his concert. And then my mom was so pissed that I brought my date forward, and then she missed out on 5 more days of my time in Bangalore, right? And so yeah, I was just talking about that, and my team member was like, man, wow, how is this possible? How could you just go back early? I said, that's Sir's music for me. And then I remember I was like right in the front row, and it's just magic. It's so vivid. Like every concert has given me that special memory, and then I love it. It's an experience that I can't describe. Anyway, this podcast is not about me. Amazing, man, Tanvir. Beautiful.
But I think that's what he was saying, and I think the language bit was,
Mhm.
and this is my personal experience as well. I think
Mhm.
2003 is when I first attended his concert in Bombay, in Andheri Sports Complex, and he didn't have a big discography of Hindi albums at that point in time. So obviously there was a lot of popular songs like Mukabla and Urvashi, which were very popular in North as well. But a lot of Tamil songs that he was playing. And now when I see 20 years later, 2023, he was playing in London. I was with my wife also. She doesn't understand the language. Me and her were cheering whenever he used to sing the Hindi songs. And then the entire stadium was filled with, whenever the Tamil songs were played, obviously there was complete,
Was there.
sorry, yeah, completely bursting with all the who's and ahs. But I think even in I think what is brilliant about the concert is the spread of the work that Sir has, and I think you see that in 3 hours packed, and it's a journey because right from Sufi songs to and my best part of his concerts have always been the unplugged versions, and I think that and him and the singers. I mean, that's just too intimate to kind of miss out. I mean, that's where you actually pay and go for the live performances for him as well. So I think that's been brilliant. And I do remember when he was in Dubai he was playing one only Sufi concert, and along with Javed Ali, and this was 6 months I was in Dubai doing a split family. My wife had just come in, and the day she landed, I took her in the evening to the Sufi concert, and it was an amazing experience. It was literally, it was like kind of tailor-made for, me waiting for my wife to join me back, and then this taking her to the concert. I think the spread of the work that he has, and I think that concert is just a window to all the work that Sir does. So it's truly magical to go through that in 3 hours, 4 hours, the entire piece of spread.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
also remember in one of the interviews, I think it was with Anupama Chopra, if I'm right. Sir was asked if he revisits his compositions, once it's released out into the world, does he go back and look at it or think of how he could have done it better? And he said, no, the only time I redo or reperform a song is at a concert. We go back to an old song and improvise and maybe do it in a different way. So it's actually a great opportunity if you're attending a concert, because Sir is actually going back to his magic and redoing it for you again. And of course, when somebody is playing or singing for you, they're bearing their soul for you. So it's only when you experience it, that euphoria and that thrill of having heard somebody in the same room as you are. I think it's just magical. I think Chandar keeps using this word, so I'm going to steal that word from him. It's purely magical. I've had the opportunity so far only once, but I'm crossing my fingers for many more.
Amazing. Nice. Who wants to go next to talk about the concert experience?
Yeah, so I've had the fortune of being in Sir's concert 3 times. I think one was in 2016, maybe 2018, not the one where he performed in Wembley, and not that one, the one before that. That was the O2, and the one just on September 30th. And what I've seen is each concert has just been a live visualization of how Sir's concerts have actually improved. I mean, been innovated from one to another, really. So back in those days, I saw he came with a whole list of singers, and all the great ones like SPB and everything, and Srinivas and everyone who I had the fortune to see them and listen to them, and just feel that I've been so blessed to be in the era of these greats, to the smaller group, the smaller team that he's actually gotten for the later concerts. And what I see a constant is the quality, what you see, what you hear in the studio, what you see here in the concert. It just gives the same experience, really. I mean, we can't take
Acoustically, yeah. I think, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, because a lot of people would say, "Oh, he uses a lot of gadgets and other things like that, and tries to produce a sound that will be possible only in the studio." But he and a few other groups have shown that they can actually do it in live, in concerts, to give that experience to the public. And that's where it's a paisa vasool when you actually go to the Sir's concerts. And one more thing is, I've seen is he never wastes time in a concert. He actually gives, if it's 3 hours in entertainment, it's complete 3 hours packed. There's no kind of pause here and there. And this was more evident in the recent concert, where like it was one blast after the other. It's like we had a great time. And
Also,
and
Raman,
he,
I was going
yeah.
to ask, since you've been to a few concerts, right? Of course, having adored his music all your life, and then do you have any vivid or specific memories of going to his concert for the first time ever and then seeing him live for the first time? What was that like? Do you remember?
Yeah, I mean, the first time when I saw him, I was like awestruck, and I was not even reacting to the music. I was just focused on him to see. Okay, this is a man I have actually worshipped in the last so many years. Listen to him. I mean, listen to so many of his compositions, and just enjoyed. And I'm here looking at him in person, and what more could I ask for? I mean, I feel, I mean, I keep thinking when I think about my life when I'm sitting alone and stuff, and when I actually think about the era of people that I've actually been living it, I feel so blessed. I mean, especially with Sir, Raja Sir, and everyone really. They're all legends. You can't recreate that particular person again. It's all like, it happens once in a lifetime, and this is one. You know, that's the thing. And everything he performs, he or his singers or his band, I mean, it's magical. I mean, every moment is magical in his concerts, and that's one of the reasons why I try and see if I can actually be there. Of course, I've not gone out of the way like Tanveer or you, but I do my bit whenever I can.
Karan wanted to chime in. What did you?
Yeah, no, I think first memory was 2003, and I vividly remember, because he never used to sing full length songs, very rarely back those, right? I mean, certain vocals, and it was always this mystique thing about him that used to always wanting more of him. So even on tracks, the vocals that used to give. So during the concert, when he came, actually I was looking for him because he was so shy. He was behind, like Rahman was saying, the singers are there, the dancers are there, and he's taking the backstage. And when he came and sang, I think was maybe Hamma Hamma is when he actually came down the stair. It was like he's for real, because till then it was this mystic personality who was giving some backing vocals in some of his favorite tracks. And this was pre-internet days where very little you could read about or hear about or see about him. So he was almost like God. You don't see much, you see he's there, and his vocals are just guiding you through the day, through the years, and suddenly seeing on stage. And I mean, it was magic. And I remember one more where he came with Sachin in Bombay, and it was like they look like soul brothers or twin brothers. They exactly, I mean, in terms of personality, they are more grounded, and there's so much similarity. And then I see Sir's personality evolve during concerts now. Is also really great to see him really putting himself out there. I think that's really fascinating as well.
Nice. Ramanan, did you have anything else to add to what is?
Yeah, no, I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. Ashwin?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ramanan and Kunal have put it so nicely. But to answer your question, Chandra, just from the concert, right? When he's, or rather, if you're going, right, whether it's in your city or if you're doing what Chandra does and flying halfway across the world, right? When you know you're going, from the moment you go to when you leave and when you come back, it is just an experience. Because I've been to, I think, 3 or 4 concerts. First one was 2007. He came to Atlanta, and back then Shivaji was huge. I think it had just released. And he had some senior singers at the time. I think Hariharan was here, Madhushri was here, Vijay Yesudas, Blase, and I think one or two others. And he, for that concert specifically, he did the entire Shivaji album, which was really cool. But I think as a few people mentioned, right, when you see him from when he was 15, 20 years ago to now, right, his most recent concert in Atlanta was 2022, last year. He did Pana and like all these, Chaya Chaya, all these upbeat songs. And when he sings them, like even when Fana came on, he's like, oh no, he's like jumping, right? So you don't see that, or rather I think as a fan, right, that I mean, I don't know, I say as a fan, but I feel this way, right, to see him how he was, as a very just kind of a stiff, I'm just singing my song, I'm doing my thing, and then I go back and then I let the singers do it. But then to have him come out of his shell and like jumping, and you don't see that. So it's when you see that as a fan, it's just I don't know, it just feels really good. And it's just a very good feeling to see him evolve as an artist and as a musician. But for yourself as someone who's attending the concert, right? Just, I mean, all the songs that he does. I think before he used to have maybe just a handful of singers, and they would do all the different songs, and in many different languages. And it was great. And he would, introduce his musicians, right? Naveen on the flute, Shivamani or Ranjit Brod on the drums, Keba on the guitar. I think back then it used to be Sanjeev Thomas, or he used to have quite a few different musicians, right? But there's so much, good change that has happened since then. And even now, like maybe in the last 7-8 years, maybe 10 years, I say it, right? He has some of the like next generation singers, right? Haricharan, Jonita, Niti Mohan, right? Karthik, of course, all those guys. So he picks them, and then now they do all the songs, right? Because some of the senior folks, Hariharan, Shankar, Mahadev, like that, they're busy doing their own stuff. But it's nice when you have kind of the next generation of singers to introduce kind of the younger crowd. Like I'm 35, right? So I'm probably one of the average, or maybe one of the younger ones. But when you see even folks who are in their 20s, right, you see them, these guys aren't that much older than I am, yet they're just rocking it. They're having a blast, they're singing all these songs that I like, and it's just so much fun. So they bring so much energy, right? So that is always a great experience. And so for those of you who haven't gone to concert, highly recommend. Can you hear me? Sorry, my AirPods just died. But what I was saying was, for those of you who haven't gone to a concert, I highly recommend to go if you can. Because especially, I mean, of course, all the upbeat stuff, that's super energy, it feels great. But for a lot of the unplugged classical Sufi stuff, I mean, I say this especially for the Sufi stuff, when you have Jawad Ali there singing Arzia, and that really just, you just feel like you're somewhere else in that moment, right? When you're listening to the song and seeing the artist live, right, in the stadium, all the lights, just when you look around you, everybody is they're just so imbibed, they're just so lost in the music, right? As Chandra says, it's just, I mean, this is really magic, right? And I don't think there's any other way or word to describe that. For that moment in time, you're just somewhere else, and that is a feeling I think everybody should experience at least once in their life, for sure.
Beautiful. I'm sure Vaishnavi just cannot wait.
What's that? Sorry?
Would love to hear. I was saying, I'm sure Vaishnavi just cannot wait to attend a concert. She hasn't been to
I
one.
know.
So, I
But
can't wait.
I don't know if it falls under the same topic, but I did go to his One Heart movie, which
Yeah.
was based on the concert. I was in Bangalore at that time, and I remember that I was the only person in the theater, and they did not film the movie. I mean, they did not. They canceled that show actually because I was the only one. So I had to run to another theater, which was like, and in that traffic, I had to run to another theater to not miss the movie. And there were like a couple of people, but I was so happy to watch that movie because I think it pretty much gave a picture of how the concert is. in general, all his concerts, and I was very happy to see that. So at least I got that experience.
Nice.
But I agree, I need to go to one of his concerts.
I'm glad you brought that up because I experienced the exact same thing. It came out here at the movies, and I was the only one in the entire cinema hall. And then, midway through the movie, the staff members come in to check if everything is okay and all that, right? There was this guy who came in and he was like, "Sir, are you sure you're in the right movie?" I said, "I would love to attend it again. Like I would do the next show, but unfortunately, sir, this is only a one-time show today."
Yeah,
So yeah,
I
amazing.
know.
And I loved it so much that back in the days, I remember even buying it on Apple TV, and I still have it on because you don't find it on any of the platforms.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's up on YouTube or whatever, but I have
it
the original quality on my Apple TV, and I love it. I've watched so many times, I can't even remember.
yeah, me too. And it briefly came on Netflix, so I
Yeah,
watched
yeah.
as long as it was on Netflix, and it and then coming to concerts, I have watched. There's this Nenje series which was shot in Chennai. I think it was the first ever Nenje concert, and I've watched all the videos. There are a couple of videos, and I think I've watched it. I've added so many views to those videos, so that's my only virtual experience of his concerts, and I'm sure. But like everybody spoke about how he has evolved and like from being shy to being a performer. I recently saw that he danced or he gave a light movement for Manut Mandaile, and I was like pointing it out to my family members, and they were like, "Where is he dancing?" I'm like, "Don't you see that like small step that he just like danced for? I mean, that is a big deal for AR sir. It's like huge deal." And I was like so cherished, and I was so happy. I don't know why. It was
And
just
also
unexplainable.
the background that you got, Jiggy Jiggy Rail, he danced and
Yeah.
smiled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That
Yeah.
song, when I watched it for the
So
first time, it was amazing. I mean, he has really done
Yeah,
his job
I
for
hope you
that song.
meet him one day, and then if you do meet him, do tell him that, sir, I loved your dancing. I want you to do more. And
Even the one where he
I
did
will.
for the chess competition that was happening in
Just
Chennai.
yeah,
Olympiad,
I
yeah,
think that was
Olympiad in
also
Chennai.
Olympiad.
Yeah.
fascinating. But I think what Ashwin was also saying, I think one of the things also from his concert is this getting to know the musicians. I think I started following Mohini Day uh, once I saw her performing live as well, and I think
Mhm.
it just gives a lot more personality and character to the people that he works with as well. And they all come from very, very similar. At least his halo effect is seen in all of them, I feel. It's like ARR school of people coming out
Okay.
and performing, and he's given springboard to so many of them, singers and seeing them perform live. I think it's a big deal for all of them as well, I assume. So I think that's also great as a viewer to see those musicians, the Naveen or Keba or Sivamani. I remember seeing Sivamani when, I mean, the Tal came and his percussion track was this out of the world. And to
Yeah.
see him actually do it, because I know he used to come to my sister's next door clinic for physiotherapy work. And he used to talk about how much it takes out of him, right? Every show or every performance. And it really just humanizes the entire process that Sir's music goes through. And I think the concert is a really great way to bring that and package it. I mean, we all see it as a 3 or 4 hour entertainment, but there's a lot, I'm sure, goes into even the song track list. It's tricky as his discography grows. It's so tough to make choices to pick one and drop one. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
a
Yeah.
big one. And the
Yeah.
sound engineers, right? The sound engineers behind this.
Mm.
The first concert I saw Sridhar sir sitting in the console.
Wow.
To he that's exactly to go back the quality of the sound which is coming out. When Chinna Chinna Ase started, you could see Sridhar sir how he is like he can feel himself in the song. Is that's the reality of as you said, Karan, like to get that sound out and all the rehearsals which sir does on the day of the concert as well. to the sound bit which is coming out of the speakers and everything goes a long way.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice.
I
Gotcha.
have an experience.
I think
Yeah,
music.
actually, yeah, I've been to Sas concert 4 times. Yeah, it's supposed to be five, but what happened in that two of the concert got drained. First concert was happened in Cochin in 2018, and it was cancelled. Then again he rescheduled it. I went there, and it was an indoor auditorium, and the sound quality was amazing. As my Tanvir sir told that about the sound engineers, what magic they have done, because that was my first concert I'm going. And so it was really amazing. Each cymbals and hi-hat sounds are literally crystal clear. If you listen, that he was playing, Ranjit Barot was on the drums, so he was playing Gia Chile. So that sound was literally crystal clear. Then I had an opportunity, and at that time I was very bad. And then the second time in 2000, same year in Bangalore, and that was also very bad on behind. So what I did, so the next concert I should go on the front. So in 2019 in Chennai, I think so Chandra sir also, Chandra bro were there. I think so in 2019 concert you've been there, right? I believe. Yeah.
Mm,
So I was in the front row, and usually I vibe for Sir's song, and it is my personal space. I I am vibing Sir's songs in a different zone. But when I sit in front of that line, usually the people in the front who sits in the front row during the concert, they were very silent, calm. But I went out of the world. I was just gone case. Some people told me what this guy is doing, but I didn't care. But again, one bouncer told me, much bro, just control. He was saying. Then I just kept myself okay. But I don't know what happened to me. One song, have you heard Adiye song, right? Adiye battle was happened between Siddha and
Benny.
Benny. And already I was my adrenaline was rushing like hell, because already Sar is very close. And that was the first time I was meeting him. My adrenaline was rushing like hell, but still I was holding the chair. But then he sings when he sings like "Karamanja Thinnayila, Karukku Manjalara Kaiyila," gone. Then I went out of the world. Then the cameraman captured my all movement, and he that guy displayed on the screen. And Sar saw me and he laughed at me. That's the moment. That's the moment, and that was the biggest moment in my life. Then after 2 days, after 2 3 days, someone used to keep posting those concert video, and that guy, my reaction was in that video, and I got, oh my, it's gonna be viral. Then luckily that didn't go viral. So it was on the side. Then in 2000, recently, 2022, Roman sir made a post. He wants this headbanger. I mean, one parrot or one bird was banging head. Okay, that post. I posted on that. He posted on like that. I want this headbanger during my concert to choreograph dance. So I mentioned this incident, sir. I was also one of the headbangers during Adiye battle, and you were watching me and you laughed at me. That was the priceless moment for me. And I told that I'm in the UK at the moment. I'm waiting for this concert. He liked that comment. I don't know what happened. That is enough. Still, I believe that he remembers that me. That is the point. That's the amazing thing which I had because
You
of
have
Sa.
to share that video with us now on the group, the
No,
WhatsApp group.
no, that is very out of. Actually, I have personally shared to Chandar bro. I believe. Yeah,
Mm,
and it was yeah. Then that's the thing. Then after yeah, then after that, I recently on September 30th, I met him. No, before September 30th, he came to London Palladium. It's a very private show for other songs. So recently, the other songs, the Brit School conducted a private event. I've been there and I saw him, and I talked with. I took a rushed selfie, and because many people are crowding, I told sir இந்த பக்தனுக்கு தரிசனம் கொடுத்ததுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி. I told like that. He was smiling and he was happy. And then again I went to India for Chennai concert, but unfortunately rain
Mhm.
happened and that show got cancelled, and by that time my holiday has been over, so I had to come back, and I came here. Suddenly sir announced tour over here in London. Then I, whatever it may be, I have to attend, I have to meet. Then suddenly I booked. Then I met him, and then I told my poem. I got an opportunity to take a photo with him. It was an amazing moment. And though the about what I'm saying in the concert is the quality of the sounds and the artist. We already Ashwin told how he's updating, how he's introduces new artists, especially independent artists, ADK, Sri Rascal, Shubha. Recently, Shubha did an amazing job, and as well as he's supporting many independent artists like already says Shubha and Vitushani. 2019, one Canadian Tamil girl, she sings a style song, Vitushani, and she sings in Bigil also. He's Roman sir. He's giving all platform to all talented, who is really passionate. If he got the fire, definitely he picks up that for sure. I'm also believing that will happen to my in my case, but I don't know if it happen don't happen also or not. I will listen and will vibe.
And I hope it happens one day.
Thank you.
One of the topics that I thought about yesterday while driving, and then I wanted to get your thoughts on it, is, I mean, we as ARR fans, I think personally, I'm just talking about myself, I can't generalize it. It's, I feel it's a blessing, one, to be existing and experiencing his music, because personally I don't know what I would have done without his music, because his music is such an integral part of my life, my day-to-day life, starting from waking up early in the morning until the time I go to bed. I would have heard hours of his music. It would be playing in the background, even whilst I'm working and things like that. But what I was actually more specifically thinking about yesterday is, it's a very personal experience with his music. It's very personal. So the reason why I say that is because, especially in life, throws a lot of challenges at all of us. Each one has been through various things, and then we have dealt it in our own way and things like that. So I'm not any different. I have had my own challenges as well. So when you're in a certain phase of your life, and then you're going through dealing with the challenge, probably that's the right thing to say, you're dealing it in your own way. So this could be a pretty intense topic. So um, like personally for me is, when my mom was battling it out in the hospital and all that, right? I remember going hanging out, and when I say hanging out, literally waiting for hours outside the ICU, and then just praying and then hoping that some magic will happen and she'll come back and all that. But I don't want, not getting in there. But when you are presented with such a huge challenge in front of you, and one is you're praying and you're hoping that something will happen, and then some miracle will happen and all that, do you even think about listening to music at that point in time? Does because you have such a big thing to deal with, and then do you even think like, oh, maybe, are you, because you wouldn't be able to focus on anything when you're presented in that situation, when you're dealing with something huge, right? And everything else will seem minuscule for you when you're dealing with something. And then, that I'm talking about myself. And then I still remember like going upstairs, then in the Vikram hospital, and then upstairs on the cafeteria, and then just just sitting there on one of the tables and just thinking, what do I do? What is it that I can do, or what options do I have? And nothing except for praying and all that, nothing else, absolutely nothing else. And it's up to the doctors and all that. Not getting in there, but what I'm trying to get to is, especially moments like that, when you play music, and also, I don't know, you go and look for a specific song or a track to give you that strength. There are plenty. You could always do that. But one thing that stood out for me, like in that moment, is Sir's new track released just then, Light Upon Light with Sami Yusuf. And that had such an impact on me. And I kept looping it. And I couldn't explain the amount of, the strength and the hope it was giving me. Not necessarily that the track would have spoken anything in that regard or whatever, but it's just the music itself that gave me a certain strength or had an influence on me, and started to give me the hope that probably I was looking for, and also help me not to worry, at least for that 3 minutes and 18 seconds of the track, and try to focus on the track and then leave everything else for the power beyond. That's the kind of impact and that's the kind of magic. So that's why I call it personal, right? And that's the sort of the impact I have experienced. And that's just one small example. And and also, like after in fact, just the day before my mom passed away is when Light Upon Light came up. And then on the day she passed away was when Ahimsa came up with the U2 collaboration. And I still remember looping. We were on our way to Srirangapatna to, do the rituals and then, drop the ashes and all that. Not getting in there, not trying to make you guys sad, but that Ahimsa thing track was in a constant loop, because I cannot explain the state of mind that I was in, especially when we were in the car driving all the way from Bangalore to Srinagar, which was about 1 or 2 hours of journey or whatever, I can't remember. Entire duration, I've just been looping that track. I'm not saying that track was Sufi or it had some special words, or no. It is just that at that point in time, that piece of music gave me that little hope, or was consoling me. That's the kind of experience that I had. So that comes it happens, like even when you're super stressed at work, or there's something huge that has happened and you're dealing with it or whatever. I'm just taking examples. There is some element of a magical influence from Sir's music, and that's why I call it personal. And I also like to believe and like to say the saying, only if you believe in magic happens to you. So you have to be in a certain zone to experience his magic, and that's when you start to discover certain nuances that you would have never heard before, right? Things like that. Does this relate to you guys?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Who
think
wants to
Yes,
go?
Plenty,
of course,
plenty.
many times.
what
Many
you're
times.
saying also is, Sir's composition. I mean, we all go through a lot of emotions through the day, and whenever we actually plug into hear his songs has different meanings with every emotion. And I'm not just saying, but even if literally, if you were to just see some of the songs, I remember when Luka Chupi came out as well.
Mm.
I mean, it's a song written for mother, it's a song written for country, it's a song written for your loved one. I mean, whatever emotion you're going through, you can connect with that song. And I think that's why it's under your point, it's so personal, because what you then experience at that point in time, at that point of emotion, any track you plug in is really different. And then nuances of the song, but the music, the track, everything comes alive in a different way. And I've personally experienced this a lot of times. Every time I've gone through phases where I felt, what am I doing in terms of just in general work, but life? And some of his tracks have been seen in a very different lens. I remember the Lagan track as well. And it either can, when you scale from minus to 0, or zero to positive. It has that power, even if you're feeling very, very low, it can just bring you to balance. And if you're feeling balance, you want that pump up, it just does that as well. So I think it's very personal. Every track, every music of his, you plug in at a different moment in time, different moment of emotion, feels different. And I think that's why we all like to loop it. That's the reason, because we always go through a different personal experience of the track magic that happens when you go through the day or through the period of time as well. I do relate to that part, what you said.
Nice. Vaishnavi, what about you? Putting you on the spot.
No, I was also thinking if I can think of any. No, it's very, very relatable, whatever you said. I've had many such incidents, nothing major like what you mentioned, but yeah, minor ones I've come across. And sometimes I just close myself and I don't listen to any music. I don't feel like. But then there was this point where I lost a job. It was my first job or something, and it was the time when Kun Fire Kun came actually. So that was on loop, just like how you said Ahimsa was on loop. Kun Fire Kun was like something, I think that was the first Sufi song that I got attached to, and gave a new flavor to my ears. And I think I started analyzing a lot of things after that. So that was one of the songs that was very personal to me, and I got so attached to it. And there are many other songs as well, obviously. But then you're completely right. There have been many instances where you're just lost for that couple of minutes when you listen to that music, and then you don't have to think about what's happening around you. So, and I always go back to Sir's music then.
Nice.
Yeah.
Guys,
Also,
Tanvi,
with regards to me, I had a setback in 2011 with my marriage breaking down and stuff like that. And, I had gone into a shell for a couple of months. But it all happened so quick. And, you know, um, and I was like in a point where, okay, either I need to, keep sulking about it or I need to move on. So, I think back in those days, I was listening to a lot of Lagan and Rockstar and all those songs, all those albums, and Sir's music actually got me through, and I came out a very positive person. Really, I said, okay, I can sulk, but I'm not going to sulk. I'm going to fight it out. So that's pretty much what happened. I mean, yeah, I mean, Sir's songs, and there are some iconic songs from so many composers. I mean, it is going to relate to. It is going to be personal, and it could affect. It could be affecting many people at many stages, and I think Sir's music has done that in my life. So yeah.
Nice. Thanks for sharing. Anyone else?
Yeah, and sometimes even words make a difference. I'm again going back to my personal story, but my daughter's name is Samaya, and in Kun Faya Kun, it comes to Tu Hai Mujh Mein Samaya. So it's every time I listen to it, it's like reminding me that okay, I have a purpose, and sometimes you tend to think about okay, why us, why my daughter, why did this have to happen to her, and in its own way, the song reminds you that there is a purpose to it. Wo hai tujh mein samaya. So, and even every time the song plays and the word is uttered, my daughter turns and she's like, "Okay, someone said my name." So, it's like you said, personally, the words, the music. I think music as such takes you back. It's always reminiscent of what situation you've been in life. So sometimes it's nice, sometimes it makes you sad, sometimes it makes you happy, sad. So yeah, music is always like the background music for our own journeys, so to
Nice.
say.
Nice. Anyone
Yeah,
else?
I mean, Chandar, to tell you, 98, I came to US. One thing as a bachelor, at some point of time, you're going to stay alone, and, and Swadesh hit me pretty hard. Ejo this. I mean, anytime I hear this song, it takes me all the way back. And again, I'm very conscious about what is available here and what is missing there back in India. You need to balance out life, right? But Sir's voice, especially on this track, took me to some levels where I could literally in the nighttime, I used to just listen to this and go to bed. Same thing happened when my dad passed away, and I talked about this concert and my mind is a stranger without you. That track was endless loop, along with Light Upon Light, which you touched upon, Sami Yusuf and Sir. That's magic, pure magic, as you say, Chandar. And the last one is Sir in one of the concert, Luka Chupi, he sang with Lataji on the screen. My God, that was one of a kind. Right. So literally he's singing, looking at the screen, and her voice is coming through the screen. It touched my soul quite a bit of time. And whenever I feel low, I go back to these tracks on a loop sometimes in the nighttime.
Nice.
And it heals, guys. There is no doubt about it. And that's where I think we are all sitting today together and talking about Sir's music, because it touches its various aspects of life. Wherever we are, there is always this common feel of you feel better after listening to one particular track.
Beautiful.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, for me, Nani and Pirandhen, that song is very amazing. Coke Studio, Nani and Pirandhen, that
That's a
song,
lovely
actually,
one.
that song, think about actually that I look myself, what the purpose of me to this world. I actually, that song, when I was listening, I was thinking, I was deep diving where I lost and what I have lost, what mistake I have done in my life, where I am lost. So that cleanses me. Yeah, I consider those tracks are like Arzian, Kun Faya Kun, Nani and Pirante. These are the most spiritual track for me because I listen to these things, when I am into, bad mood, depression. Sometimes, life is not same every time. So it keeps on changing. So sometimes I face lots of pain, emotional things, and I listen to these songs. Arzian, um, then Nani and Pirande, Khoja Mere Khoja, Kun Faya Kun. These four songs I in my playlist, and these are the four songs which connects me very spiritually. It doesn't have any other things. These four songs I keep it more on the spiritual side of romance. When I'm listening to Arzian, actually, even I don't know when I was listening that song, I don't know the meaning of the lyrics because I don't know Hindi. So, but the tune makes me to think about it. The tune makes me to keep something is there. That's how AR sir has been progressed, each chord and music, the lead on the guitar. When you are listening to Arzi, and there will be one harmonium piece will be there. If you keen, if you listen very closely, that melody will take you to somewhere. So that I am very much thankful to A.R.Rahman sir. Thank you so much for giving that track. Yeah, that's a spiritual. These are the spiritual moments with sir for me.
Ashwin, you want to share something?
Yeah, no, I think just like Vivek said and quite a few others said, for me, I would say, I think it was back around 2009, 2010. It was something I was in college then. There was some issue going on, and I was a bit, I didn't feel the best mentally. And I was listening to Arzian just on loop, like days after days, hours, just out, because that song, it's it's a pretty long track. It's like 9 minutes, right?
8 minutes, yeah.
8 minutes, yeah, 8 minutes, yeah. So I think for every time I heard that track, right, for those 8 minutes, I was in a good space mentally, and then when I would stop listening, I'd be like, oh, now I have to go back to the real world,
I
and
can
then
relate.
face all these, yeah. So that one for sure. And ever since Rockstar came, Kun Faya Kun, again, that's about 7.5, almost 8 minutes also. Something about that song, right? I think the just the melody in itself, the way Mohit sings, A.R. Sir sings, Javed, Javed Ali sings, because they had their sort of classical touches, you know. I don't know. To me, when I hear that, it you know it takes me somewhere else, which is always a nice feeling. So I've always had a special sort of affinity for the Sufi songs ever since I heard Pia Haji Ali back in '99. I think I was only 11 then.
Yes, Fiza.
So I think yeah, Fiza, yeah, because I know he was a guest composer for that movie and for that album. Because I think at that time, um, so that song is in a 7-beat cycle. So I didn't even know what that was at the time, you know. And I saw, this beat sounds different, you know, because all the other songs at that time that I had heard was a very standard, you know, an
Can you
8-beat cycle. But I
explain
said
what a
something.
7-beat song is?
Sure. So a 7-beat song is basically, I don't know the specific explanation, but the way I would explain it would be is, you know, you know, it's got that
Yeah.
same rhythm, and he's got that I mean, that's a standard, uh I guess a standard 7-beat cycle. He's used that for that song, you know. He's that standard beat. He's used that for quite a few songs. Um, but most of the songs, right, or just even when you clap, right, you clap, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just sort of
3,
an easy,
4.
but that's a little bit nuanced. So at that point, I don't even know what that was. And then, you know, so that sort of took me by surprise. And hearing, you know, of course, A.R. Sir at that time, you know, his voice, I think his range was a little more higher then, right? He was a little bit younger, so he had the range to go a little bit higher. And then just the overlap of the Sufi style singing, right? Because it's kind of like not a chorusing, but you have, you know, 3 or 4 different folks, or you know, maybe 10 or how many ever, right? You have all the voices coming together with the harmonium, with the little tambourine, the tabla, dholak beats. That and I think even for that song specifically, Srini Sir had also sung as well. And so that you know, that was very spiritual for me. So from that song onwards, every time I heard some sort of Sufi or, you know, classical song like that, you know, it always just took me to a special place. And I have to, that song specifically was the first song for me. So I always have a special liking for that song. So since then, right, in terms of Sur's music, Pia Haji Ali, Khwaja Mere Khwaja, Ajnia, and then Kun Faya Kun. And even, I guess, off late, in Hero Panti too. I think he's got a few tracks as well. Jwala, not Jwalamukhi, but
No,
what's the name of the song?
Renuma, right? That's what it's called.
Renuma, and then yeah, Jaluvanuma as well.
Yeah, correct.
Jaluvanuma,
That one as
yeah.
well. Yeah. So, you know, those are more some of the newer ones, but yeah, I just really enjoy the Sufi numbers for sure. So,
Nice.
I think also
yeah.
some of the theme tracks that he has, and I think they are equally powerful without any words. And I still remember
Bombay theme.
in Bombay
Mm.
theme in Dubai
Mm.
with the ensemble of violinists, which I do miss now in his concerts. We don't see those big entourage, but I mean, just listening to that is a very, again, personal, magical moment. And there are so many theme tracks. Dil Bechara had beautiful one, Rockstar has one. And there are these nuggets sitting in different albums, and I've kind of tried to create one playlist out of it, and I've shared also on the group once. It's simply, I think, especially at nighttime when you just put it on, it's when you do your journaling of the day. I think it's very helpful to just go through that and journal things as the songs, emotions, and theme track emotions move on.
Nice. So nice.
Spirit of Rangila is one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Just pumps you up.
Yeah.
Sometimes I was very happy that there are no singers.
How many of you
It's just
remember
Energy from the start.
What's
that, Chandan?
So that was amazing.
Oh, Thump of Daud was a good one too. Yeah.
Thump of Daud.
do you remember the number of remixes that came later?
I don't even remember them.
Actually,
Yeah, but that's the kind of impact that track had. Anyway, but I was gonna ask, so this is me. So of course, we go to his concerts, we play his music in our daily lives and all that. And I have how should I feel it? based on thing that I've been doing time and again, I know for the fact that when I'm driving and when his music is playing, I am actually singing along in the track, and sometimes singing out really loud, because of the fact that I've had some thumbs ups, and then people giving me smiles at the traffic signals and all that, looking at me over here. So I maybe I've embarrassed myself by doing that, and that's even more worse in my bathroom when I'm in the shower when the music is playing. I am out of control, and same thing happens at the concerts when I'm at the concert, and then I can't resist singing along. Although I can't say I sing okay or whatever, but it might be even terrible. But uh, eh, am I crazy, or you guys do that too? Do you guys sing along when you play music?
Quite a
All the
bit.
time,
Yes,
all the
of
time.
course.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
So you guys do too?
Uh,
And I pretty much
yeah,
annoy
yeah.
my wife. And then my kids have realized now they need to have AirPods ready before even I start driving. So
So is this a normal ARR fan thing?
Yeah. Even if you're a
Yes.
I
terrible
think
100%.
singer,
so.
because somewhere you've read
Yeah.
that he supports untrained singers as well. So you think you got a shot.
Yeah. We are not trained. I am not trained. Sorry.
I'm not trying to. Yeah.
Nice. Vaishnavi, do you sing along?
Oh yeah. I sing along all the time.
Hmm.
In the bathroom, I am like a performer. While driving to work, every time I just have like couple of playlists, and I even listen to like all his new songs while I'm driving, and that's the best time to listen.
Great.
And all the time, like even at home, I
Nice.
just torture everyone, making them listen to the same playlists.
That's a
So
perfect
in my
segue.
case,
Would you?
sorry,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. Yeah, sorry to
We'll
interrupt.
come back to
In
you.
my case, yeah,
We'll
yeah.
come back to you in 1 minute.
Sorry,
So,
sorry.
Vaishnavi, that's a perfect segue to get you to sing a line or two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking to sing this song while also touching on this topic where I wanted to like share that the thing that impressed me the most about Sir's music is he gave a very new sound to the all the Gramathu Padalgal, like the movies that like the initial 90s movies where Kayakachi Maile, like until then you had a different sound to such kind of movies, and this was completely new, and I don't think anybody could have changed the sound for village kind of music. Or so I want to sing one song
Mhm.
which is very famous. Obviously, it's Porale Punnitai, the sad version. It's my favorite. I'll try
Classic.
to sing a couple of
Oh,
lines.
good.
போராளி பொண்ணுத்தாய் பொல பொலவென்று கண்ணீர் விட்டு தண்ணீரும் சோறும் தந்த மண்ண விட்டு பால் பேச்சும் மாட்ட விட்டு பஞ்சாரத்து கோழிய விட்டு போராளே பொட்ட புள்ள ஊற விட்டு சாமந்தி பூவா ஊமத்தம் பூவா கருத்தம்மா எந்த பூவம்மா அஞ்சார சீம உள்ளூரில் ஏங்க பொதிமாட்டு வண்டி மேல போட்டு வச்ச மூட்டை போல போராளே பொண்ணு தாய் பொல பொலவென்று கண்ணீர் விட்டு தண்ணீரும் சோறும் தந்த மண்ண விட்டு
Well done. Very nice.
Wow.
Very
Beautiful.
nice.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Do you
Last
remember when
improvisation.
this song, obviously, the album came out first, and then later Vande Mataram came, and then Gurus of Peace was in it? What did you
Yeah.
think when
Yeah.
Gurus of Peace came up? Because Gurus of Peace, was based on this track.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, Vaishnavi, what did you feel when Gurus of Peace, which was like obviously based on
I
this?
I don't think I remember what I felt at that point because it was when I was too young. But I don't have any comments on that. I haven't really thought
Anyone
about
else?
it.
Any thoughts on Gurus of Peace?
I
Okay,
mean, I loved it, Chandar.
Yeah.
I loved it,
Right? And
but then I was like,
I mean, for me, yeah, Swarnalatha was one of my favorite singers as well.
Yeah,
The
she was
emotion she
really good.
brought in, yeah, she was so good, and we lost her so early. And that was another topic which I wanted to cover maybe in the next one. Shahul Hamid, some of the singers which Sir lost,
Mm.
nobody would have known about them outside. But to go back, I felt Gurus of Peace gave another stamping to that tune which Sir has originally composed
Mm.
in a different voice. Nusrat Saab is another legend, and
Mm.
and here you go, you know, a deep South singer versus. Yeah, that's the beauty of Sir in some of the compositions, which I want to point out here.
Nice.
I think this particular track had children in the chorus, right? There are kids
Yeah.
singing in
Yep.
the chorus. Yeah,
Even the
it
way the
is
track
really,
played,
yeah, very
It's just like a
beautiful.
hope.
sometimes
Yeah, that
Yeah,
I feel that there's there's so much, like, one is like, see, this is just me thinking out. I'm not even in the music profession, and I'm just a crazy listener. See, one is to compose a tune, right? And uh, then producing it. So working on it, arranging, producing, and all that. And then I also wonder the amount of the creativity that goes into how the track should even start, right? And then how the track should end. Like, for instance, the way what do you call, even Gurus of Peace, the way it ends and the way it starts and all. There's so much creativity that would have gone into that aspect. So it just makes me wonder, right? It's not like, I know a creative person would never do anything half-hearted just because, okay, I've got this track in place, tune in place, fine. I don't care about how the track ends, how the track starts. But there's so much importance and attention to detail given to even the smallest ting sound that comes in any of the tracks. It just makes me wonder, like, what I'm trying to say, it's not a question or anything, but I'm just saying that we're able to experience even the little nuances, right? And I can easily tell that in Ria there at 3 1 18 there will be a ting. So things like that. And then only we as crazy fans probably will recognize little gems like that Sir has put in. So I'm just saying. So I don't know if you guys had any thoughts or
Yeah, like for me, Alaipaide,
yeah.
when we listen multiple times, Chandar, you could feel it. Like even Pachai Nirame, it's a long song, right? Like Iravin Nirame Karupu, when it goes, and
Mm.
there's one small, fading humming which comes and goes. That I'm still awestruck how Sir comes up with this bits. And even Snegidane, the song by itself has got a beautiful melody,
Mm.
but he could see the prelude, as Srinivas Sir said. Hey, he recorded me separately, and then he clubbed these two, and I said he's going to collapse the song. But when I go to the studio and listen to the full version, it's pure magic.
Mm.
Even I think one of the track, which is, I mean, as a creative process, and that's why I can understand why he works at night most of the time. I mean, that's when you can get in that zone, free of from other things. But Man Mohini track from Yuvraj, and when I was saying, how the hell did he come up with that? I mean,
That track is a
fusion,
banger. That's an
yeah,
amazing track.
Yeah.
fusion on one side, you have a lot of people have tried fusion, but to do fusion in that quality of song, I think it's neither it's difficult to sing. I'm not a singer, but I can imagine it's so difficult to sing. But even to compose and to direct, and I mean, obviously, I'm not a music person to understand the nitty-gritties of it, but I can truly imagine where his headspace would have gone from one end to another end to kind of come to that point. Because it's you can't just come with planning on that. It has to be just messy, random process to kind of end up to where he ended up with that. And there are so many tracks like that. You just wonder that, like, how did it even? And that's why we all like looping it, right? to just understand where would have the seed started off and where the plant is now going is just fascinating. I think that's why it's the journey every time.
Why do we loop these tracks? I mean,
It's
For me, I think
curiosity.
and sometimes,
I think it's
and also sometimes this is again me being me, and then something that I have experienced is maybe there's a track that initially didn't resonate as much when it first came out, and then later on, years later, man, what's this track that I kept looping recently?
The
I even
Kangalal Kaidisai one, Chandar?
huh?
Was
Tea
it
Kuruvi?
Millie?
Tea Kuruvi
Tea
or
Kuruvi?
No, the other one, the Karthik song, Anarkali.
Anarkali?
Anarkali.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both on the same album. Yeah.
This track wasn't an instant like poison for me when it first came out. It was like, okay, it's nice, but I'll come back to it later. But years and years later, like last week or so, I looped it like for 54 minutes, the entire journey from work to work to home. But it's amazing. Like, why do we loop?
I think in my case, it's more about curiosity. The first time a new
Yeah.
song comes, and then you go, you listen to it. I was like, what did I just listen to? Go in, and then you sort of, saw the layering starts in the ear. The layer, the
Yes.
layer, the layering that Sir has actually gone through with the songs is actually resonating in the ear with every listen. So you are like,
For a normal music listener who has no clue about music production, a complete layman, doesn't even know what music production is or whatever, for him, layers and things like that will make no sense, like these terminologies. But the music has an impact on him as well. Like we, for example, would have heard about this and then we sort of understand what this actually means and all. But I'm just wondering, like for a super, you know, layman music listener, it still resonates and he still goes back and loops.
First
What am
time
I
no
even
one
trying
gets
to
it.
say here? But that's the sort of impact Sir's music has,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because
That
first time I
happens to
think anyone
Sakra.
listens, they don't get it. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I remember Matagashti also when it came.
Mhm.
It's simple song, but I think first time you hear it, it's saying, I didn't get it. Let me hear it back. And then it just grows on. I think that's what it loops. I mean, you
Correct.
don't want to loop it, but you are in the loop. You're just taken in the
Yeah.
loop without even you
Yes.
knowing
Same.
it. I
Yeah.
think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Vivek?
When
And I
Tirada
think
Tirada
another
released, sorry.
and sometimes
Go ahead.
a
Okay,
lot
Yeah,
of
Vivek.
when
Go ahead.
Vivek go.
Yeah, okay. Okay. It happens to me in that Sakkara Inikkidu Sakkara, that new song, that rhythm pattern. That was very new. Previously, Sir used to do things during his 90s. During 90s tracks, he used to do lots of Tamils and stuff. Then he had a little bit break on Tamil. He is not frequently using Tamil, but he banged after a gap on 2004. It came out. Sakrai Inikkidu track came, and as I told earlier, I am very much keen to rhythms. The way he programmed, I looped I don't know
Can I
how
ask
many
you,
times I have listened. Yeah.
are or only the tracks that has a certain rhythm resonates more to you, or
No.
what if
Yeah.
there are tracks that has no rhythm, for example, but there would be some sort of a rhythm, no doubt.
Yeah,
But
definitely. Yeah.
do you have an inclination only towards tracks that has a certain rhythm?
And not like that. Not like that. Actually, if I'm listening to that a cappella song in the song, which Rasati, Rasati, so it has a soul. That calms your things. It has a rhythm, what, like a floating boat. Mm. So that how I imagine, like that. And when it comes to ten ten, takata tankata, katakachinu takata, so that's another zone. It's a learning process. Each and every song, it has a particular rhythm. But the hardest rhythm I have seen He's he worked with some international percussionist like it's Waves of Cloud. I think so. Have you heard that some Hizam Rossi, was some Middle East percussionist? He collabed with those Middle East percussionists. So with Dombek, Derbuka, Djembe, oh, that also on the loop. That his rhythm sense. What he does in his works with Shivamani sir or Ranjit Bharat, whomever it may be, the rhythm what he has given to his track made me to learn more and more. Even if I haven't been to any formal lessons, but still I play on desk bench and rest of the other things. Many people are asking that I can communicate with the other drummers. That's the key fact I have, because I'm not saying because I learned from Saz music. Whatever thing I'm doing, it's just Saz music. So whatever the rhythm, whatever the tracks who he uses more rhythm, I deeply focus
Nice.
on it. Yeah,
Nice.
that's the point I want to.
Ashwin, you wanted to share something, right? Why do we loop Sir's music and we sing along when his music plays? I don't know, anything you want to share?
Yeah, no, I think it's a certain level of curiosity, because when we first hear it, right, we're like, oh, this sounds really good, But I think, some songs we sound it sounds pretty good, but I need to hear it a little bit more. Or it's the opposite. Man, I love this song. I want to hear it again. And then, and I think for both instances, it's I want to hear it again, but then as I'm hearing it, I want to know, oh, there's some new sound here. And like you said, for one song at 318, there's something there, or this at this specific time, there's something like. And I think Ramanan mentioned something about layering, right? Probably the first example I can think of layering in recent times would be from 99 songs, O Ashika, right? It
Wow.
starts out very mellow, right? You have that, da, 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 and then it builds up. And then the second half, right? I mean, Shashwat just takes it to another level, right? You got the guitar, the thumping drums. It just, da, 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 he does all that stuff, and it just keeps adding and building. And for me, I know that was when that album came out, right? I mean, the whole world was crazy, right? COVID had just struck, and then everybody was just in sort of a chaos. So, and for all of us, and I think for so many people, that album was the perfect time to be released, because that was sort of our medicine, I guess, in a way, right? It was a healing for us, right? Because everybody sort of caved in. We can't go out anywhere, so we just sit at home and just keep listening to music, right? But again, for that song specifically, I know I heard that song quite a few times, because there's every time I keep hearing, right, there's just more and more things that keep coming, that keep coming, and that also you keep noticing. Oh, you notice at this point there's something here, something increases, or this small instrument fades away, whether it's for that song or even the like the piano theme for that movie, the Oracle. Yeah, and not to deviate from this, but I remember, Chandra, you were saying you went to a yoga class and they played that track, and you asked the yoga instructor, "Hey, how did you hear about this?" So anyway, when I think of the Oracle, I always think about you and the yoga session. But even for that song, right, it starts out with a simple piano melody, and then it keeps building, right? So it adds one layer and layer, and then the whole orchestra comes, strings, percussion, and then just ends off with like a nice bang. So,
Nice.
But yeah, long story short, I think it's curiosity, and then more appreciation to what we already like on the first hearing. So
yeah, as much as Sir's music obviously gives us hope, gives us the strength when we need, makes us happy, and also brings back memories. Some of the songs do bring back some memories and all that, right? And also there are certain songs or certain pieces of music that brings tears as well, right? For example, as Ashwin said, this happened in my yoga class where I introduced the Bombay theme to my yoga instructor, and I introduced AR sir via his music to the instructor, and Bombay theme was the first ever track I played for her, and then she loved it so much that she included it in. It's now part of the official yoga playlist now, the Shavasana, the corpse pose towards the end of the class is the Bombay theme. I absolutely love it. And then I rarely see any Indian in the class. It's usually 99% Westerners in the studio, and I'm usually the only Indian. But but sometimes there is another one or two Indians that pop up, but very rarely. And because obviously they recognize the track and then they smile, but also what I have experienced or rather seen is there are certain tracks that brings tears down, like for example Oh Ashika, as Ashwin said, Oh Ma, especially that bit, I'm gone, Luka
Yeah.
Chipi. Yeah, yeah, some of the songs it does to me. And then Bombay theme every single time, like when it was performed in Melbourne in 2018. I've spoken about it numerous times. There was a complete stranger fan who was right next to me, and then she put her head on my shoulder, and then she had tears, and I didn't want to disturb her. I just thought I'll let her in the zone, and that's what Sir's music does. And also happy tears for tracks like Chinna Chinna Asai. Obviously there are not more from the perspective of there are memories attached to it per se, not really, but music does something to you. So why do we have tears with some of the songs? Like, what is it that brings tears down? Is it the memories, or what does the music actually do to evoke your emotion, and then because makes you vulnerable, right? I know it's a bit of a deep topic, but who wants to go first? Are you able to relate to what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I got it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Mainly it's because of the situation. For example, I told that RCN song. When I was listening RCN song, I was in a bad situation. So whenever I'm listening to that, it cleanses my body. Cleanses my mind, and automatically that tears will come, because the main thing is situation. That memories will take you. For example, if you when I'm going to a silent place, definitely I usually listen Kun Fire Kun, and they give that song give me some kind of emotional thing. It's a happy tears. I'm saying, I can't say it happy tears, something beyond that. You won't be stressed, but automatically the eyes will be filled, and that zone, because the emotion and the memories, that sort of things.
Is
I think that's the
the
reason.
memories attached to that? That's why for you?
Yeah. Yes, many actually.
Okay. Okay, no,
My first.
I'm not asking about going into the details of memories. I'm just
No,
asking,
no, no.
it's because
Yeah.
of the memories attached to a song is why you have tears?
Yeah, because not only the memories but also the sound. If, for example, for Lucas Chupita, na, 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 I could feel someone is calling me.
Hmm.
La, na, na. So he's like, then "Or sollil ulegam amma, amma." So that part, no, that
Hmm.
songs, that kind of bits will take you, grab you for that song. Then this song, Elelo, that Roja part, that also took me some melancholic feel.
Hmm.
He has done Indian also has the same thing. That Kapale Ripoyachi, that scene, no, that part.
Yeah, yeah.
La, la, la. So that thing automatically that will take you, grip some, you know,
Hmm.
emotionally it will be connected. So that's the point. That tunes and memories. That's what I'm saying. That
Okay,
notes and memories comes together,
cool.
the emotion will come out.
Rashmi, you put your hand first. You wanted to share.
Oops, did I? Okay, yeah. Maybe it was very subconscious, but as a very self-proclaimed crier, I can cry at the drop of a hat at both happy and sad things. I can vouch for this. And there are some songs in which you just get emotional listening to the symphony of two instruments. For example, Taregin. There's the piano and the violin.
Mhm.
And at one point in time, when Shreya and Mohit uh, sing together towards the end. There's something about it. Even if you don't pay attention to the lyrics, it goes into this very beautiful symphony, so to say. I don't have a better word to explain it. So unexpected songs like that. You, of course, look at Chuppi and Kun Faya Kun. All these songs are tearjerkers, but even the so-called happy songs sometimes just leave you in awe, and I think that makes us emotional. How can someone just with a blend of instruments take you into a different zone? And it is, yeah.
Nice. Ashwin, you were saying something earlier on this
Yeah,
point?
no, I think I had posted something maybe a few days back, maybe a week back. I was listening to the waltz from Lagan, right? And it's just it's a very beautiful waltz, but to me, it doesn't seem like that's a song that anybody would get emotional for. And I was just eating lunch the other day, with my wife, and she had finished, and then I just put on my AirPods and just put this track, and then you hear dun, 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 and then the rest of the song comes, and just with the just with the whole orchestra, right, with the symphony, with the strings, the harp, the clarinet, oboes, just everything all coming together. I think that sound, I don't know, it just hits me for some reason. I don't know how to explain it, but I think that when the tears come, regardless if it's this song or any song for that matter, I think it's a overwhelming feeling of some kind of emotion. It could be memory, it could be just because of the way the way one person reacts to the sound that you're hearing, right? It causes such a overwhelming feeling of joy or sadness or melancholy feeling, or you think back, oh, at this time I was doing this when I hear this song, that I think the body's natural response is just tears, right? So it's a nice feeling sometimes. So
Nice.
I think with
Yeah.
a few individuals, it also has to do with a certain instrument. Because my sister tells me that the violin makes her emotional. So I'm just speaking for people, but that could be a reason too.
Nice.
Yeah,
think
that's exactly why I feel very emotional. Different songs, different situations. I think for Vande Mataram, obviously, I feel that patriotism whenever I hear him sing Vande Mataram and that whole album. And there are particular songs where I'm really amazed by how he could have even composed this. Like example, like how Chandar said that there's some particular sounds in this particular times, like he earmarked it. So I kind of, I wouldn't say I'll cry, but I get a lot of goosebumps for almost all the songs, like for different reasons. Some songs I get goosebumps for the lyrics, and some, like how Rashmi said, when the singer and the instrument, when they go together, you get a different kind of feeling. I think that's what it is for every other song.
Nice. Karan, you were saying something?
I was just building on what Rashmi said, and I try to go on a little technical to understand this. When I think if you have heard from Jodha Akbar song Manmohana, it's like a bhakti song, and suddenly this violin kicks in, and there've been a lot of other tracks. I think when flute, violin, vocals, when Sir says Yelelo in Roja track as well. I think out of that, it's like a meal, right? When you're eating, but one flavor kind of just stands out and tugs your heart. I think that's what happens when in some of these tracks that he has. I think the flute, the violin, the melody, the vocals, out of all that blend, suddenly this one thing comes out of and just hits you differently. And that is probably, to your earlier question, is also one of the reasons for looping. Is where did that come from? Happens, and I think that's. I think Manmohana, I remember, and it's a very in the movie also, it doesn't have any emotionally driven thing. It's just a journey of Aishwarya Rai from one place to another when she's talking about that. But that track, when it takes different level of pace, when the violin kicks in, hits differently. So there have been many such tracks which are not very popular, but they have this really nice, beautiful thing in it which drives that emotion really, really strong. I
Nice.
remember that even, sorry, the Legend of Bhagat Singh, Shoro So Pehchaniye, entire track is upbeat, and suddenly that Inqilab Zindabad comes, you feel patriotic. You don't need the entire shouting to go through it. I think just that way it ends and punctuates it is something different. I think Sir's, I think he's got a grasp on that. I don't see any other composer doing it repeatedly with consistency on the way that emotionally attaches the listener to.
Nice. Ramanan and Tanvir, you guys wanted to add anything?
Yeah, a quick couple of things is the Vellai Pookal, right?
Mm.
The moment it starts, the and the and the way Sir takes the song throughout this journey, right? Uh, that is one thing which I always remember. Even till date, I drop a tear on this one, Vellai Pookal, and even on the same movie, Oru Deivam Tanda Poove.
Mm.
That has got some, it's very therapeutical, I would say, Chandar. The way that song starts as well, and the way Jayachandran comes and joins, and then again, I think Chinmay has sung this song, if I'm correct. It's beautifully delivered, and as I say, it touches some parts of your emotion, and the moment that hits it, it's done already.
Nice. Ramanan?
For me, a couple of songs straight away, I feel that, affects me a lot. I mean, I sort of, get emotional. One is Bombay Theme. The other one is Ye Jo Desh Mein Hai Tera. Because I feel like, with Sir's voice, whenever he actually does anything patriotic, that's immediately strikes the chord with me. And like Rashmi was mentioning about some instruments that could make this particular kind of impact,
Is
I
it the
feel that
memories attached to it, or it's not necessarily memories?
not
That's
necessarily
that's the level I want to get into, where what
not
is it
necessarily
triggers those
not
emotions?
necessarily memories. In this case, it's pure music and mastery of it, and the kind of pureness in composition that's something that I could say. And yeah, I mean, with regards to violin, anything composed with violin or cello, I mean, it's always really nice. So these are things that affect me. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
I think
And
in
I
some
think
of them there
personally,
are
apart from Sir's music, I don't think anyone else's music does that to me. Doesn't make me emotional at all. I can't.
I don't know. I
Might
can't.
make me happy or yeah, put me in a better mood, but uh, make me cry. No, I don't think any other music director's work has.
Same
Great.
here.
Almost 2.5 hours since we started this podcast. It's amazing. So,
but
just
before you sign off, Chandar, on that, I just wanted to complete
no, we're
this
not
thought.
signing off it.
No, on the background music as well, because I think
Yeah.
there are no memories, there are no connections to it. I
Yeah.
think some of his background scores, I remember in Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na, there's a track where Imran Khan is breaking off with Manjari Fadnavis, and this humming track that happens at night, nothing else.
Yeah.
And it's again a very different. So even in background music, I think that similar thing happens a lot of times, and he's won so many background music award as well
Nice.
for that very reason.
Amazing. So, just conscious of time, and then also the fact that I have to start my work myself in some time, and then I'm sure some of you guys, it's past bedtime, or I can't. Yeah, I don't know. So sorry to have kept you guys this long, but just last few bits. Definitely a message for Sir. I can't let you guys go without giving him. And Sir will most likely watch this, as in not the whole thing, at least some clips that I might share it with him. And then, so do you have a message for Sir? Keep it short, and don't get very emotional. There was a guest who came on the podcast just last week, and I'll release her podcast this week. She was so emotional at this point when I asked her to share a message for Sir. Anyway, Tanvir, you want to go first?
Sure. Sir, thank you so much for being part of my life. Stay as you are. You are the purest I've ever seen. Thank you so much.
Nice. Who else? Vaish?
Hello, sir. Thank you so much for all your music, and would love to see and hear more of your performances, and hoping to see more North American concerts in the future so I can attend one of them, and hoping to meet you sometime and sing for you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Ramanan? I'm just going in an order.
Okay. Hello, sir. Thank you for all the wonderful memories and for wonderful music that you have actually provided. I mean, I must say I'm extremely lucky to be actually listening to all your composition and works, and looking forward to more from you, more and more. Thank you.
It's never enough.
Never enough.
Vivek?
Hello, sir. Thank you so much for being with me since 1992 to till date. And then one more thing I want to say, I have a story for you. I don't know whenever I'm going to meet, but when I meet you, definitely I'm going to tell to you. So hopefully that will happen soon. I believe, I don't know. But thank you so much for giving all your tracks, everything. Because of your music, I'm here. Thank you so much.
Nice. Rashmi?
Yeah, sir, a big thank you for all the music, and you should know the value that you have added in each of our lives. I think you should know and understand that, and bless us all with more of your music until the end of time.
Nice. Ashwin?
Sir, just wanted to say thank you for all these years. You've been such a huge inspiration, and you've given us so much joy, and you continue to do so. So thank you for just being an amazing human being and for sharing your wealth with us. Thank you so much. God bless.
Awesome. Karan?
Yeah, sir. Hi, from your non-South Indian, non-Tamilian, one of the fan representing them. Just give us more Hindi tracks and continue to say the same. And we want you to stay healthy. That's the only wish that we all have for you.
Amazing. Great, guys. That was a lot of fun. We obviously could have gone even longer, but it's already like 2.5 hours since we started this podcast. I'm sure we'll need another 5 hours to cover so many other topics. I hope you guys had fun.
Oh, we did. Thank you,
Thank you
Chandar,
so much,
for
Chandar.
It was
Thank you
I
so
know
fantastic.
for
much.
picking us
Together.
and giving us this opportunity. I don't think I would have been able to express myself if you hadn't given this opportunity. Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's
Thank you.
our
you,
own
Chandar.
fan moment, Chandar. It's our own fan
Chandar.
moment, right? At one point, I need to interview Chandar as well, and I'll pick my
Yeah.
slot later.
Yeah, we have
Correct.
to,
You're doing
because
a fabulous job, Chandar. So
he is the one. Yeah,
keep it going.
he's the one. Yeah, he's the one who made us together and keep this moment
That's right.
so memorable. And thank you, Chandrana. Do the same.
Thank you,
Do
Chandar.
the same thing again and again. We need you like this.
Thanks. Let's take right, one normal picture, and then you have to make a funny face next one. Okay, everyone smile. Tanveer, pallu katte. Save that, and then now funny face. Do some funny face. Great, got it.
Wow.
Awesome, cut.
Ashwin went big with fireworks.
So guys, thank you so much. And catch you all soon.
Thanks again, Chandar.
Bye.
Have a lovely
Thank you.